first thought and the first thought when you first felt like God wanted you to start a church? What happened? What was your first plan of action?
I never thought about doing a church. I did Bible studies, but I never thought about doing a church. Um, it never entered my mind even once that I would start a church and be a pastor.
So once you realized Bible study was not the only plan, what happened then? What was the plan of action?
Uh, when I got called into the ministry, I didn't know what I was. I was in the ministry for practically 3 years before I knew that I was a pastor. Mm-hmm. I had people to prophesy to me and tell me different things. What's amazing is they prophesied me to be a prophet, an evangelist, but nobody said I was a pastor. But when God spoke to me, He said, "You are a pastor." Yes.
And then after you heard the call, then what did you do?
I heard the call. I was in a Bible study one night, a Friday night Bible study, and I was leaving the Bible study, and I was going down a set of stairs, and I could hear in my spirit that you are a pastor. I kind of rejoiced for a moment at the fact that I heard from God. Mm-hmm. But after I settled down, I started to have the thought, whoa. Because I began to think about my pastor and some of the things that I saw him go through. And then my next thought, oh no. Mm-hmm. And but from there, I had a conviction about it. And the first thing I did was I went to the Bible bookstore, and I tried to find every book that I could possibly find that talked about pastoring.
Mm. Mom, tell us about some of the crusades.
I remember the Labor Day. That's when it was, on Labor Day?
Labor Day, 4th of July.
Yeah.
We used to have twice. I think it was Labor Day, 4th of July.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On Labor Day, they would set up in the parks. It was maybe the third or fourth one that he really started gathering a lot of musicians and different ministries to do that one, and that was the largest one. That was a big one, and a lot of people were born again at that one, and it was in Harvey, at the park in the back, and it was really great. The people came, they heard the singing, they heard the music, and they came. And when it came time for the invitation, just guys who you just randomly just started coming up and receiving Christ.
And my dad orchestrated the whole crusade.
The whole thing.
And he did the invitation and everything.
The whole thing. Mm.
Is that the same person you see now? Is he the same person?
That did, yes. Mm-hmm. That did that. Yeah, the exact same person who loves people and want to see people born again. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What made you think of the Crusades? How'd you come up with that?
I don't even know. It was just a heart desire to see people saved. Mm-hmm. I've had that desire ever since I got saved. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. About how many friends do you think you helped win to Christ?
I don't know. I don't really know.
But once you got saved, you went on a crusade to get everybody in new.
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm. What was your role in the crusades and in the transition from Outreach for Christ and Christian Life Bible Church?
With the crusades, did we have food?
Yes.
Okay, so I couldn't remember the food part. We did things to purchase the food, so I know I did that part, and singing. That's what I did. And then when Adam knew that we were supposed to be a church every day, when he would come home to in between his routes for work, we would sit on the stairs and talk about what God had given him. And then one day I remember we were sitting on the stairs and you said, Ava, the Lord told me what's the name of the church. Christian Life Bible Church. And it was like, oh yeah, that's good. And so we knew from that day, Christian Life Bible Church. And that's what it's been ever since.
How'd you feel about the change from the man you married to the crusader slash pastor guy? Like, you know, like, and just even trusting that, yeah, the Lord told him that, let's go with it, you know?
Man.
The transition from him being the man that I married to the born again man who loved people and wanted to see him saved. I think it made me respect him and love him more. Yeah, I believe so. Because I saw how much he cared about people, how much he cared about his family, because he went after his family and his friends. And I mean his close friends, the ones he talked about all the time. He wanted to see them born again. You know, he got out after Brother Ellison. He got out after Brother Kaysen. He got out after Joe Starks. All these people became a part of the church where we were. The church that was so small. All of a sudden, we saw this church growing with families. You know, and it was because Adam just went all out to win people to Christ.
Yeah, this was.
When Katrina hit, what was that like?
I didn't know what to expect after Katrina, but we never lost hope. I thought it would be just like it would, like it always is. You know, 2 or 3 days, and we go back home. But it didn't happen like that. But one of the things that God spoke to me about was the fact that He didn't change His mind about what He started with us before Katrina. Katrina did not change God's mind, did not change the will of God for us. And that proved out. We're back, and we're still here. And we're doing what God told us to do. Yeah. It all feels like an achievement. 25 was an achievement. 30 was achieved. 30 is an achievement. All of it just seemed like, it's an achievement. But you came into it by the grace of God. One thing that I know, and that's been a blessing to me, that God will allow me to live to see the fruit of all of this if I obey Him, and that's what I intend to do, obey God. I don't expect to pastor my entire life. I expect to raise up pastors. And the latter part of my life, I just believe God will allow my wife and I to travel and to help other pastors become established in the things that God has called them to. I really believe that. Now, my desire is to see my children embrace the call of God upon their lives, because there is a call upon all of them. Now, all of it may not be fivefold ministry. But there is a call upon each and every one of my children, and I like to see them embrace the call. There are people that I know that's in my congregation should go on to be great ministers of the gospel. I would like to see them embrace the call on their lives. Amen. And add to the legacy. Christian life forever. Reaching the next generation. Amen.
I agree.
I believe that you're here with me, and you'll never let me go. Not ashamed.